even though people pleasers have this inner chaos going on, does not mean that they are not capable. They are very capable of healing and living a life as their authentic self. We just have to choose and commit to shifting our perception from needing to protect ourselves emotionally and shifting to a need to be present. And this is part 2 of 2. I did the first part of things, signs that we are healing from people pleasing yesterday. So this is part 2. And so we'll just begin. We'll jump right in. Signs that we are healing and signs that we are shifting from needing to protect ourselves to needing to be present. Being okay with another person's disappointment. Self explanatory. Feeling neutral after someone's reaction. Their reaction does not define you. Feeling less or no pressure to justify yourself. Asking for help, for example, without saying why or over explaining why you need help. And here's a prime example. Um, we're having a storm here. It's like a lot of wind. They said a thunderstorm, but I haven't had a lot of thunder yet. But there is a lot of wind. A lot of people had lost power. We went to Staples a couple hours ago, and they were out of power. And then the restaurant we went to was out of power. But we're okay here. As you can see, I have light and electricity. But um, for tomorrow, I have car repair. And I have my reliable person, and that usually takes me when I have car repair and whatnot, but they are sick this week. So I had to ask my BFF from middle school to do it. She lives nearby, and she was not able to do it. So I'm having to ask a person who I've never asked before. I don't want to delay the car repair. This is the second time that I've attempted to get this repair work done. Um, so when I type the text to ask the person, what I would normally do as a people pleaser and being afraid to disrupt anybody's life, and I didn't feel worthy to ask for help and whatnot as a people pleaser, I would have over explained. I would have explained all the people I've already asked and why they can't do it. And this is the second time that I've had to try and get this repair work done. I would have gone on and on trying to explain it. But this time, as a healed people pleaser, all I did was very straightforward. Would you be available to take me to the repair shop at this location at 12 o'clock tomorrow? And that's all I ask. So that's a big difference. That is a huge difference for me, feeling like I'm not worthy to ask for help. And it would be very difficult. And there would be times when I would probably stay there all afternoon, waiting like 4 or 5 hours for that repair work to be done just to avoid asking someone for help. I know that's severe, and it's because I was severe. But I've grown out of that. I love myself. I know my worth now. And people ask me for help. So that's a sign. When you can do that and do it without over explaining, that is a sign that you are healing and that you are shifting into needing to be present. Trusting your own decision making. I know it's hard. I was not good at making decisions as a people pleaser because I was so traumatized. I didn't trust myself. I couldn't think straight. I worried about taking risk. Everything was a risk when I had to make a decision. Um, and in any situation possible that I could rely on someone else to make the decision, I would take it. But then as I started to heal, it was difficult at first to make my own decision, but I started doing it. And as I got more and more healed, more deeper into that healing journey or healing process, it did get easier. And now it's very easy. So if I can do it, you can do it. And that's a sign that we are healing. We can make our own decisions and then stand in our decision. And if it turns out that there was a better decision, that's okay. I've been in that position plenty of times since I started making my own decisions. And we just be flexible and be gentle with yourself always. All right, let's see what is next. Choosing to ask yourself, okay, what would support me right now? What do I actually want? That is part of your decision making. And it can be in the moment when someone's asking something of you, or you have to you have to tell the truth about if you want to help someone or not. Saying no when you want to say no. And when you can do that, it's a sign that you are healing. Even though you might have terrible nerves doing it, it's still a sign that you are healing. You're going to have those nerves, at least the first few times, if not further into it in your healing. You're going to have nerves. You're training your body, your nervous system, and your mental capacity to trust yourself, to train yourself out of the old pattern. So you're going to be nervous. You're going to have nerves. It's okay. And again, like I said yesterday, if you don't catch yourself during the actual situation, that's okay. If you catch yourself after that and you say, oh, I just realized that I should have done such and such when that person was talking to me. I wanted to catch it this time, right? Be gentle with yourself. But the fact that you caught it even after, you realize that after is still a sign that you are healing. Noticing how uncomfortable you are when you follow an old pattern, like your own manipulating behavior. You're trying to think of ways to say something a certain way or at a certain time. A lot of times that can be actual manipulation. You come up with a fake reason to go into somebody's office, but it's really because you want to ask them something else. And so you end up asking that and while you're in there. That's manipulation. And I used to do it all the time. It's not bad. It's the survival strategy that we picked up. So just remember that manipulation, our emotional immaturity. We begin to notice when we do plan to manipulate, or maybe we notice it while we're in the middle of it. We notice times that we are responding or reacting in an immature way emotionally because we're afraid. Those are all signs of healing and that you are shifting. When you become aware of that, a sign that you are healing and you are shifting to choosing to be present, wanting to be present, needing to be present so that you can heal because you want to heal. And situations where you're inconsistent with your responses. And that can be you contradict yourself. One minute you're saying, yes, I'll do that. And the next minute you're responding a different way because you got that emotional immaturity and you're so afraid to say the wrong thing. It happens. It happened to me plenty of times. And I still know people who are people pleasers, and I'm not judging them. These are observations, and that's what they do. I will be trying to find out what they need, and they are contradicting themselves within a few sentences of saying things. They are contradicting themselves. But when you begin to recognize these types of things about yourself in your old patterns, when you recognize it, that is your awareness. That is you being present in that moment. And that's a sign you're healing. Noticing how you smile when you don't really feel like smiling. I did that a lot. And like I said yesterday, I've caught myself many times on these YouTube videos when I start to have an old emotion to come up in the process of talking about things that happened to me, I will be smiling. When I get stressed out, I smile. When I am upset and crying, I mean serious crying, I smile. So when I'm nervous, I smile more. So that's something that I am aware of, and eventually it will be healed. And if I want to stop smiling while I'm stressed, then I can eventually will stop smiling while I'm stressed. Laughing deliriously. I don't know. I hesitate to ever say that it's just me, but I used to do this very bigly. I was famous to my friends and family for having a certain type of high pitched laugh, and it was a delirious laugh. And I felt like it was before I started to heal. And it was confirmed because after I started healing, like deeper into my healing process, I noticed that that laugh was changing. And it was no longer that high pitched, delirious laugh. I had people, I mean, many times, people always noticed my laugh. And so many times they would either call it, you say, you sound like a laughing hyena. I had a person tell me that I sounded like a covey of quail when I laughed. And as I got deeper into my healing, I noticed that I feel like it was like a stress laugh. It was right, a nervous system that was always on high alert. That's how that nervous system manifested that high alertness was through my laugh. That's what I decided. I don't laugh that way anymore. Okay, so I would be curious. Put it in the comments if anyone else might notice that they have a delirious laugh too, even if it's part of the time. For me, it was all the time, but even if it was just part of the time, I'd love to know if you put it in the comments. Remembering to be gentle with yourself. And as I got deeper into my healing, I would catch myself realizing that had responded with an old pattern, and I would actually catch myself saying or thinking, that was hard. I'll get it next time. I'm learning. And when you do that, that is you giving yourself kudos and being gentle with yourself. That is a sign that you are healing and you are being present. Okay, expressing your opinions, expressing your preferences, expressing your emotions. When you can begin to do this even a little bit, you are beginning to heal and be more present. Grieving what you never received is a sign that you are healing and you are being more present. Allowing yourself to grieve what you never received is not regression, it's actually integration. You are beginning to embody those emotions that you pushed down for so long. And it's a process of integration. The healing is a process of integration. All right, acknowledging your experience, not living from it. Yeah, now that's really, that happened for me more toward the end, more deeper into my healing process, acknowledging the actual experience. And it's like being the observer. Say, okay, I see this is happening right now. And that's a wonderful feeling, being able to do that. You're deep into your healing process instead of following through with it and living from it the way you would have before you started healing. Mistakes are okay. When you can authentically believe and feel that your mistakes are okay, you're deep into your healing. I put this one here because it was a big one for me. I was definitely a perfectionist as a result of my childhood trauma and never feeling like I belonged. If it was a person that grew up with a sense of belonging to their family or in their community at church, I had no sense of belonging. But someone who has a sense of belonging is okay with being imperfect, but I wasn't. I felt like I always had to be perfect in my presentation and the image that I put forth, the way my hair looked, the way I dressed. It had to be perfect. Whatever my belief was, everything's got to match. Everything's got to be a certain style. The way I wore my makeup. I went, when I was 18, I started wearing makeup. And for many years after that, I was afraid not to wear makeup because it wasn't perfect. I would feel it was one of the things that I would feel would cause people not to accept me. And early on, the first thing that caused me to say, I choose not to wear makeup anymore, was the reason because I wanted to face that fear. I wanted to be able to wear makeup, still be okay with myself, still like myself without makeup. And I didn't want to live in that fear anymore of being rejected if I didn't wear makeup. And then as I got better at being comfortable without makeup, then I started getting tired of wearing it. I got tired of putting it on and taking it off. I got tired of feeling it on my skin. It's like I wanted to be able to feel the wind against my skin. I just wanted to be free of makeup. So now I don't wear any makeup. I don't wear any makeup. And I don't care. I don't mind. That was a big step for me. So my original reason for stopping to wear makeup because I wanted to face that fear of not being accepted without it. I didn't want to have that fear anymore. Um, let's see. Receiving kindness, help, compliments, and tender loving care, and being the receiver, being in a sense of receivership and being okay with it. I have gotten better at everything about that, receiving kindness and compliments and receiving help, asking for help. And now I am actively working on being in receivership for true, authentic connection with people. I'm honest. I'm going to say that out there. I am in the middle of healing that. And spirit, I'm getting it from many angles. Spirit is letting me know that there is someone coming in, multiple people, from a point of sisterhood, friendship, and even otherwise. And it makes me feel a little weird to say it, but like from a romantic perspective. And that this is going to take me deeper into my connection with authentic love and take me deeper into unity consciousness. And this is something that I've been praying for a long time. I have something on my wall because it is an active desire that I have to move deeper into unity consciousness. I want to know it experientially. And so this is something that I talk about with my guides every day. And having these connections, these opportunities to make these connections now, it's a little scary for me, but because I trust, I'm deep in my trust, I know it's going to be fine. And it's going to take me deeper into that unity consciousness, that unconditional love and acceptance for myself and everyone, and knowing God, being that much closer to God. Yeah, I feel that. So, learning to feel safe in receivership and choosing not to judge yourself. That is a sign. Coming aware, noticing. I noticed so many things when I started healing that I was doing, different ways that I was judging myself. And Jesus says, to wrap this up, Jesus says that the true meaning of atonement is the correction of your perception. So this is the whole gist of today's content and yesterday's content, wherein the title was shifting your perception from needing to protect yourself to shifting to needing to be present. Atonement is the correction of your perception. That's a healing atonement. It's beautiful. That's the concept, the way everything just comes together inside that concept of atonement is a beautiful process. So I did do an energy healing yesterday. I am not going to do an energy healing today. Blessed be. And we love you, we see you, and we honor you. Talk to you